So these are called numerical expressions. Why are they called numerical expressions? Well, this word pretty much spells number. And you can see here we've got a lot of numbers going on. And you might have heard of order of operations. That actually connects to numerical expressions. So the order of operations, you might have learned this as PEMDAS, maybe a previous teacher or somebody at home or an older sibling or friend. But I actually don't really like PEMDAS, and I'm going to explain why that is on this video. But at first, it is kind of useful. So the P stands for parentheses, which we don't really have in this instance, and the E stands for exponents. So in that instance, we have 3 to the third power. So the way that that looks is we can rewrite that as 3 times 3 times 3, meaning that the base 3 is written as a factor 3 times. And I like to put in the plus 12, even though we won't use it right away, because it helps us remember that we do need to add 12 at the end of the problem. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 times 3 is 27. So at the end of the problem, I end up with 39 for my answer. And notice I didn't ever put an equal sign here. That's by design. These are called expressions. If it was an equation, then you would see an equal sign. Let's try another one. So again, if I'm gonna leave that over here just to reiterate my point. So if I do parentheses first, it's still not here. Exponents is next, so 2 to the 4th power. I could write 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So the order of operations, I've done the exponents, that's all set. Is there multiplication or division? There is, and this is where I don't really like PEMDAS. You know, we always used to say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You don't have an Aunt Sally, right? So why are we listening to her? We could change this around really to say this right here, parentheses, exponents. And then you see my arrows. I'm really trying to say that the M and D, they're kind of a merry-go-round. It depends what's on the left. So I'm going to do 16 divided by 8 first. Notice how I do this up one step at a time. Too often students want to do more than one because they're overconfident. And more times than not, you'll be okay with that. It's just that why be right 70% of the time when you can be right a much higher percentage of the time? Now we can go with the multiplication because that does always trump addition and subtraction. And we're left with 14 minus 9, which is 5. One more to show you. So again, I'm going to do division first since it's on the left. There's no exponents in this instance, and there's no parentheses. Now the next thing I would do is multiplication because that's next in the order. And again, this is where PEMDAS can kind of throw us off. So I don't like using that term. I just call it the order of operations. But these can go in either order. So let me just write this, PEDM. It's the same thing, okay? And addition and subtraction are also inverses like multiplication and division. So really, I could have subtraction come first if it's on the left first. And in this instance, it is. So we get 33 plus 3 is 36.